we are back, my favorite foodies. I'm sitting here stuffing my face, and then my producer goes, 2 minutes! And it's just driving me crazy. All right, well, here we are. I'm not going to eat anymore, I promise. And we are sitting here with the entire gang of the Art Institute of Atlanta. We have got, wow, 1, 2, 3 people. We have 2 chefs, Chef Justin Ward and Chef Gallivan. I'm sorry, Jim Gallivan. I just lost my piece of paper there. And then we even have a student who is about to, are you about to graduate?
Yes, I am.
About to graduate, and I was almost about to say Jonah is your name again. It's Faye. But hey, Jonah, how are you guys all doing today?
Well,
we're doing great.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Now, y'all out there in the listener world, there are only 3 microphones here, and there's 4 of us, so you just have to get the feel that people are sharing a microphone, and that might sound weird for a second. All right, let's start off with just creations in general. Now, who is in charge here of creations?
We have 2 chefs that are in charge of creations, Chef Justin Ward and Chef Barry Levy.
And then, okay, so Justin, you over there, Chef Justin, what is it that is your duties with this creations? Because I love this entire concept. A student-run restaurant. It's awesome.
It is. It's a great concept, and it is a fully functional restaurant. We serve lunch and dinner on Thursdays and Fridays, and by student-run, Chef Levy and myself are in the kitchen overseeing it. Chef Levy oversees the dinner service, and I oversee the lunch service. And we have a chef, Monique Smith, who oversees the dining room operations. Other than that, it is fully student staff with our supervision. And
now, there are different, I don't know if ranks or just responsibilities and jobs and duties. This is a full service restaurant that's run. That includes the management, that includes the hostessing, that includes the seating, right. That includes, obviously, the cooking, right? I mean, it's everything.
It's everything. It's everything, soup to nuts. And
I like that.
I came up with that myself. But it is all aspects: appetizers, entrees, salads, dessert, the entire stations. Everything's made from scratch, and the students do it again with our supervision. Then they actually execute the food. And on the front of the house, the servers are taking orders, communicating with the customers, serving beverages. We do have a beer and wine license, so we have alcoholic beverages, and the students take care of all of it.
That's amazing. Now, here's the thing, and anybody can jump in. It's not always open, as in year-round. It's not an everyday 5-6 day a week restaurant, is it?
No, we're open.
It goes on cycles.
It goes on cycles. It follows our quarterly cycles. So spring, summer, fall, winter. We have a couple weeks break in between those where the restaurant's not in operation. But other than that, it's Thursday and Friday, lunch and dinner. And then during the summer quarter, we're open for a Sunday brunch, which is absolutely, it's fantastic.
Okay, well, jump in here for a second, Faye, and then we're going to get to you, Chef Gallivan. You are actually one of the students that works in creations.
Yes, in the back of the house.
In the back, I was going to say, what is it that you have to do? What's your responsibilities there? Do you get paid?
No, it's actually...
You just never know. Sometimes you could.
It's a priceless educational experience.
That's right.
It's true. That is a good point. Do they leave tip, though?
I don't think I should answer that question.
I just want to know for people to be prepared.
Yeah, some people leave tips and some don't.
Okay, good answer.
Like any other restaurant.
Right, that makes sense. Now, why are you hidden inside the Art Institute and not renting out some restaurant? Anybody?
Well, why is creations inside?
Yeah, because so many people don't know that it even exists, which is why you're on the show.
Well, we're a self-contained entity, the Art Institute. We're on the 5th floor of the building, and the restaurant being in there just makes sense because we utilize the storeroom, which is in a separate part of the restaurant. We might have to use other kitchens. We get our breads baked fresh from the Artisan Bake Shop, which is a couple kitchens down. We get some of our pastries from the pastry shop, so it's very integral as far as the other parts of the operation. So it makes perfect sense for the restaurant to be there.
Okay, now Chef Gallivan, you're sitting over here. What exactly is your background? Because this has been your life.
Well, my background is as a professional chef, but also as a director of restaurant school and a food and beverage director, usually at 4- and 5-star hotels and resorts.
Because you just came here from Las Vegas, or that was the last place that you were residing?
No, I was in the other Las Vegas, Dover, New Hampshire.
I'm sorry, that took me off a second. Everybody's laughing. And what about you, Justin? What's kind of your background to get you here?
To get me at the Art Institute? I have a long history with them, actually. I started with them back in 1995. I worked for about 1.5 years with the Art Institute, and then I opened my own business, Harvest Restaurant. I had that for 10 years, had that in the Virginia Highlands area. I came back to the Art Institute in 04 and 05, toward the tail end of owning Harvest. And now I'm back on a full-time basis and been there since, I think, '08. So it's 3 years now full-time with them, and I really enjoy it. It's kind of the best of all worlds working there.
Now, do both of you also teach classes as well at the culinary school?
I do. I teach, of course, Creations, or a la carte is the class, and so which is the name of the class where Creations is out of.
Okay.
And then other cuisines. We're an international culinary school, of course, so I teach Asian cuisine, Latin cuisine, international world cuisine, and I've done a couple of the lecture classes.
Oh, wow.
I normally oversee the students that are doing independent studies or honors fellowships, and a few terms ago taught the senior practicum, which is the last course of the senior state.
So what does that entail? Just for all the people out there that are wondering what exactly, and I'm going to get to you in a second, Faye, what do students go through in a culinary school? Because you think it's all just about the hands-on learning techniques, but it's not. There are so many other classes to take that the general public that doesn't do this industry they're completely oblivious of.
Well, besides the skills classes, there's also management classes and what we call general education classes that really help the students become a lot more well-rounded, whether it's math so that they're a little more capable when it comes to costing, or whether it's public speaking and communication so that they're able to work with the media. There are a lot of different aspects to it. But I think probably one of the most important ones is the students are able to take on the experiences of the chefs that are teaching them and learning the culture of the business, because this is a very different business.
Can you list a couple of the names of the classes, title of the classes, because there's different concentrations, there's different specialties. What are some of those that people might perk somebody's interest in case they were curious about getting into a culinary school themselves?
One of the ones that I think students really are fascinated by is garde manger, which is basically the cold food presentation. It's all about baking beautiful food. And if you think about it, the words garde manger come from the French, to look and to look by eating or eat by looking, which is basically the whole idea of eating with your eyes.
Right. They say that that's how you first taste it, is with your eyes. I've heard that before. What are some of the classes that you take, Faye?
Actually, I'm concentrating on baking pastry, so I take classes such as display cakes, where we make wedding cakes. And
That's an actual title of the class, display cakes?
It's so we do a lot of specialty cakes in that class, and also I take a class called European Cakes and Torts, and we learn cakes such as different entremets that we have to prepare, and I really enjoy it. I mean, it's a great program. The baking pastry concentration is fabulous.
Baking pastry. I'm being told we have to go to commercial break. I so want to talk more about this, okay? So, guys, don't touch that dial. As soon as we come back, we're going to sit here and go over the concentrations, presentations, what is plating, how much math do you really have to know to be a chef. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Donna Show. Okay, hello. We are back. We are running out of time today. I'm having so much fun. There's so much energy in the room. I even got these little people like they're in school chit-chatting over here when we're supposed to be quiet in the studio. We are here with Chef Justin Ward, Chef Jim Gallivan, and Faye Jonah. Wait, did I say that right?
Yes.
Why am I having such a problem with your name today? That's really embarrassing. I'm normally really good. We got two chefs and the student here representing Creations, which is, again, is the student-run, open to the public restaurant from the Art Institute. Kim?
Yes.
International?
It's the International Culinary School.
International Culinary School. I want to make sure I say that correctly. Okay, guys, we were just talking about some of the fun classes that you can take if you're in culinary school. Now, let's break this down. It's like a normal university. You decide which major you want, which is basically what you were saying, Faye. You want to be in pastries. What are some of the other... Is it referred to as a major? What is it referred to?
It's more referred to as a program.
Okay.
We have different associates programs. We have one in culinary arts, another in culinary arts with a specialty or concentration in baking and pastry, and another one in wine, spirits, and beverage management.
Ooh, I would jump there.
We also have diploma programs in culinary arts and in baking and pastry, and then we have bachelors, one in culinary arts management and the other in food and beverage management. So it basically covers the front and the back of the house.
Okay, so you get the whole, exactly. When it comes to if you chose a culinary degree, tell me some of the what I'm calling concentrations. You chose pastries and baking. What are some of the other things that they can choose from?
The associates program it's just your culinary arts degree, and then with the baking pastry, it's just an added concentration. So we do the same thing. So we take the garde manger classes, we have the Asian, the Latin classes, your basic foundation, your your business classes that you have to take, and also, just like Chef Galvin said, the gen ed classes. And
Well, what are some of the fun classes that people all want to flock to and sign up for?
Mine.
That would be Chef
All
Justin
the ones
Short.
I teach. Yeah.
What do you teach?
Again, I do run the restaurant there. And to answer your question honestly, I mean, when you say the fun classes, of course, the bake shop classes and what Faye was taking, the artisan bread class is an immensely popular class. Chef John Actioner, he's been in this business forever. I've known him forever, and we're very fortunate to have someone with his talents at the school. And he bakes, and I'm not kidding you, some of the best bread in the city. And I've eaten some of the best bread, if not all the best bread in the city. Students line up for that class as well, again, as some of the European cakes and torts and the bake shop classes.
Okay. That sounds. I'm so hungry now. Now I just had Mexican, and now I want to go have some sweets. What are some tips that you learn in your classes? What are a couple of the tips? Not the technique or the math or the science, but just general tips for all the listeners out there that they could take home with them from a culinary school.
I think most importantly, you have to understand the recipe, whatever you're trying to create. If not, you're in trouble to begin with. Because you need to understand what you need to do from the beginning to the end, and you have to gather all the ingredients and be organized, and most importantly, clean as you go. If you don't clean as you go, you're in trouble at the end because you have too much to clean, and you're just going to want to go to bed and
That's a good one.
leave all your dishes dirty in the kitchen.
Clean as you go, or leave your spouse behind you to do it as you go.
Exactly.
Do you have any other type of tips? They're all looking around.
Well, when the students start off, there's recipes that are followed, and certainly when you're doing baking and you're doing bread making, there's specific recipes that are followed. But I guess you'd call it a tip is to kind of wean away from the recipes and go to actually cooking, understanding the foods, understanding the flavors, knowing the approximate amounts of each that go into a dish. Because there is a tendency to want to follow a recipe. And again, if it's a specific recipe, that's fine. But if it's just, you have to know when to follow a recipe and when to cook.
It's funny because we had Rachel Ray on the show just 2 weeks ago, and she does not follow actual measurements at all. She has to get the actual kitchen people of her show to create the measurements for her because she just does it by sight and smell and taste. And that's what I do. But at a culinary school, that's bad.
No, that isn't bad.
No?
No, and see, that's there's the fun part of it is
then
the cooking part.
There's
where
a stereotype.
You throw the stuff in there. We tell the students, and the tip is you can pretty much fix everything unless it's burnt.
Did you hear the music just cut you off?
Yes.
I think that
Just
means
like the
that
Academy Awards.
we have to go to a commercial break. I got to tell you a little bit more as soon as we come right back for the close of the Donna Show.